Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the fish room. My name is Travis and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to do a quick update here on the 300-gallon display. In another video we'll take a closer look at the filtration and we'll talk about all the changes that I did with that. But for now I just want to focus on the display tank. So it's been a little while. There has been some changes. Some aggression kind of got worked out with the new Atlantic blue tang that we added quite a while back. Unfortunately, some aggression with a Filefish didn't work out. We'll talk about that here in a second. But outside of that, coral growth is good. I added another frag rock to the back of the tank just to kind of expand some of that growth and get some stuff up off the rock structures in the bottom of the tank. And yeah, cutting coral as usual every single week. And yeah, so with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the tang aggression. So the Atlantic blue here, still no name, and hopefully you guys can see it's a little dark here with the filter, but he is doing good. He's finally in the pecking order of aggression in this tank. It took a long time between him and Big Blue, or he's back there somewhere, coming around in the back. Between them kind of going at it constantly, I almost didn't think he was going to make it because he was getting smacked up and beat up quite a bit by Big Blue, to the point there was just gashes along the side of his body that I didn't know they were going to heal or not. His fins got all tore up, but I fed the tank quite heavily during that time to help weed out some of the aggression, and yeah, he survived, thankfully. So, and now you can see here he's just being a jerk to everybody. And yeah, so speaking of Big Blue, and I guess we can move on to the Filefish incident. Essentially, you can see he just bullies everybody in the tank, and the Filefish was no exception to that. So essentially, long story short, he just kind of kept going at the Filefish over and over and over again, to the point that he got weak. He wasn't eating that much, and then he ended up getting shredded by the powerhead over here, and I just found pieces of him on the bottom of the tank. So that's unfortunate, and it's very odd. I've had so many tangs over the years and so many fish in general, and this is the one and only dude who fights everybody in the tank. I just don't get it. He's just a jerk to everybody, even the clownfish that mind their own business. You don't mind your own business. You're a jerk. You kind of deserve it. But you know, just these little guys down here not doing anything, right? We have like the chromis and the I don't know, I think that's the electric blue damsel or something like that. He's a pretty cool fish. I got it for like 10 bucks. I was like, I can't pass up on that. And yeah, so he just kind of beats up on everybody. He just does. And hopefully someday he won't. I don't know. I mean, I've had so many big fish in here, and all these tangs are, you know, I mean, even Zay is bigger than he is. I guess he's just, I don't know. He's just a pain in the ass. So with that, I won't be adding any more fish to this tank. I plan on doing another year. We'll talk about it in a later update, but this tank's got one more year left. I am relocating, and I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it or get something bigger, or maybe add something bigger. I'm not really sure yet. Or maybe I'll do two different types of grow out systems. I don't know yet. I haven't really gotten that far. All I know is that I'm going to enjoy this. This is my last overhaul for the tank. So the rock structures that are currently in here, the colonies that are currently growing, will be it for this tank while we're still here. I'm not going to be adding anything else or removing any kind of major colonies, even though some of this stuff is dying off. You know, corals grow, shades in, and it dies off. Oh, look at this little bang-eye cardinal. I didn't even know you were there. What's up, dude? I didn't even know I had you. That's crazy. Or maybe I did and I forgot. I don't know. Welcome. I can see why you're in there, so you don't get bullied. That's a good choice. And yeah, corals are doing good. Everything is kind of growing out as it should. Now, I have kind of neglected some of the growth over here on these Montipora, and they are growing, excuse me, they're growing into the glass, which is something I could probably get in there and knock off at one point, but it doesn't bother me. I just kind of clean around there, and it looks pretty cool. So overall, coral growth is good, and I don't plan on adding any more because I don't really have any room. As you guys know, I did add rock structures on the back wall, the little DIY rock structures. I do have a couple videos on that. One here, this one here is awesome. You can just see that pearlberry is just growing all the way up the back there. And a couple other acros are doing good. Looks like we're going to have some touching here soon between the appleberry. And then I just added this one about a month ago. And just trying to grow out some of this Montipora, the purple Monty in particular, because it was on the bottom of the glass, and a couple acros that I wanted to, that are pretty good sellers, that will need to grow out. So that's there. Now I was debating on maybe adding another rock structure for the back wall over here. I just haven't decided yet. I might add one here, but it kind of depends on how this guy grows in, because it looks like he is starting to move over. And with the flow the way it is, I don't know if I can actually put something there without totally blasting it. Now, speaking of flow, I did just order Jabo, I think they're SLW 30s for the back wall. They were really cheap, and I was like, let me get some additional flow in here, because I do only have the 4 MP40, so I got one to go here and here, and they'll be here in the next few days, hopefully moving some of that flow forward and kind of pick up some of the detritus and, you know, keep things kind of different within the tank. But yeah, overall coral growth is pretty good. And like I said, I'm getting in here every week. I mean, every week we're coming here and chopping stuff up and pulling out things, and you know, you guys are always supporting the channel, which I do appreciate. So yeah, I really like it so far. Now I guess we could talk a little bit future-wise, coral growth, maybe some things that I won't do again. The mixture of acropora next to like basic corals like stylophoras and polyphoras and digitatas, not gonna do that anymore. I don't like here, perfect example. We got a tort that was cool by itself, but once this Spondonas just decided to grow to the size of a basketball, it is now just annihilating and killing off that tort. It has zero chance of survival. So at some point I'm gonna have to get in there and just wipe out the tort, or get in here and wipe out a majority of this Spondonas. But I'm not gonna mix acros and these basic SPS anymore on the rock structure. It's just gonna be acros and acros chilling together, and maybe just do these basic SPS even at a different tank or a totally different rock structure, just because they're just not doing well. And of course, the expensive acros that I want to keep selling and I want to grow in the tank are the ones that always get plowed over by the $15 or $20 frag. So just a little lesson learned on that. And you think I would figure that out by now, since I've grown out this tank 3 times. And yeah, just keep on making the same mistakes. I guess I just like the way it looks when they're kind of all mingled together, but I don't know. There's the hobbyist side, and then there's the I gotta pay my bill side, and the business side. And the business side says, make better choices on where your coral go. The hobbyist side says, hey, it looks better this way, just keep it the way it is. So that'll be my own battle and struggle that I'll have to deal with on the next build. But yep, outside of that, lighting wise, hopefully you guys can see it. I just replaced all the T5 bulbs on both of my fixtures. That was 8 T5 bulbs, so 4 Blue Plus, 4 Actinic, and I went through and cleaned out all my Kessels. So 4 A360X, 2 AP9X, and then I got 2 Reef Bright strips. So that's the lighting on there. And I replaced all the fans on the back. I've also added, you probably can see it, ventilation that pulls hot air outside through a giant duct. So I'm really pulling a lot of heat out of the canopy so I can keep this down and enjoy the tank. If not, I'd have to keep the hood open to help keep some of that hot air. Now, will I use T5s in the next build? Probably not. The way that LED technology is, and having to replace the T5 bulbs, I only replaced them because half of them died, like completely died. I was like, oh man, I better get in there and do something about that. Outside that, I probably wouldn't have replaced them. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna do LEDs fully on my next build, just because, you know, I don't have to deal with the T5 stuff, and I don't have to deal with the excess heat and consumption of electricity. Now, if I was to, so the Apex does, and people were asking about this, I figured I'd answer. Some people were asking how much does it cost to run the reef tank and the frag tank. Well, through the Apex, so the Apex has its own calculation of what it costs to run electricity-wise per kilowatt, and the reef tank is about $220 a month to run everything in here. So yeah, and that's including, I guess that is going to include this guy, because he's hooked onto that as well. And yeah, that's it. So I guess 3 tanks, one of them being a freshwater, about $220 a month. So if anybody's wondering, but yeah, and I contribute a lot of that to the T5 bulbs. I will say, once I replace the T5 bulbs, I'm seeing a significant increase in electricity consumption. So that's another reason why I probably just go to LEDs in the next build. So now that I'm done rambling for like 9 minutes, I think that's pretty much it. I'm pretty happy with the reef tank overall. Of course, there's always things in here that I'm messing with. I got to get in here and clean and move some of these rocks around. Lobo's still back there growing like crazy. He has to be by himself because he just kills everything. Moved the torch so he would stop killing some things. He's pissed off because he's got new light and flow now. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the reef tank. It's definitely one of my better builds, and yeah, that's about it. So any questions, let me know. If you guys want to buy any coral from this reef tank, check out my website, Fishofhex.com. And I also have like 400 3D printed items that I've designed myself that are on there. You guys can check them out. And I appreciate you. All right, see you.